Hey everybody, I hope that you're doing good. Adrian H, your H and Great Life. And this video I wanted to make for those of you that might be interested in regression hypnosis, or what I call spiritual regression hypnosis, just because of my own, unique sort of approach that I have to what I do. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Adrian, as I just said. I'm intuitive healer. I love spiritual regression hypnosis. I'm a wellness practitioner, and in the description down below there's going to be a link for my hypnosis, spiritual regression hypnosis profile that you can check out if you want to do that. And obviously, if you're supporting all my other videos or my weekly tarot readings that I bring out on my channel, I'd like to thank you for that. It means everything. So this video is really just about the spiritual regression hypnosis that I do, and it answers some of the questions that you may have, because it's very similar to the pre-consultation that I will do with the client before a session. And don't worry, just because you look at it doesn't mean that we're not still going to have your pre-consultation. We'll always have a personal consultation as well, but let's just answer some of the general questions that you may have. So first of all, hypnosis is not sleep. So you're not asleep, okay? You are in a beautiful state of trance, or relaxation rather, so we can directly communicate with your subconscious mind, because generally in our life experience we sort of observing from the conscious part of our mind, but everything really comes from the hard drive, which is the subconscious mind. Okay, so what happens during hypnosis, we make it a very complicated thing sometimes, but hypnosis particularly, it's really something very simple. It's been practiced for more than 6,000 years by all the civilizations, really, Mayans, all of them. Okay. So what you have is that there's many different ways to get somebody into trance, which is the beautiful state of relaxation. But effectively speaking, the hypnosis practitioner is going to do one of two things. They're either going to overwhelm your mind or they're going to bore your mind. And then the conscious mind is going to be like, boom, whatever, and it opens the gate for you to then access the subconscious mind, because all the questions and that you could ever have in your life, the answers for those are within your subconscious mind. It's right there. All right. And a lot of times in this world, we have got repeating patterns that you're struggling with relationships, or with your health, or with your confidence, or you've got phobias, or things just don't seem to work out. It seems to like it's going to work out, and then just at the end it doesn't work out. Those are usually patterns that are within your subconscious mind, beliefs within your subconscious mind about your own value and about your own worth, your beliefs about life, your belief about yourself, that do not serve you in the best positive way. Now, this is not really something that we need to feel guilty about, because most really of that foundational beliefs are set in our mind up until the age of about 7, but generally up until about 5.5. So from the time of conception, because a baby's got consciousness, even a fetus, from the time of conception to the time that you're about 5.5, you're like a sponge basically, and everything that comes within your vicinity, you just absorb it. So and sometimes we want to, for example, blame our family for certain things. But remember, if your family, your friends, or the friends of the family, or people coming into your space, whoever they are, if they didn't know how to do certain things, then they couldn't possibly teach you how to do those things. And for anybody who ever had, who has children, or looked after children, or just observed them, children learn from the example that you set for them, not so much what you say to them. And it's the same with sort of our energy body. And so we and also just remember, just because you observe something as such doesn't necessarily even mean that it's true. Like the example that I love to use is, say for example, there's a room and there's maybe say 5 toddlers in the room, so they maybe say about 5-6 years old, and maybe you're a baby who's say 4 months old, and an adult steps into the room with some lollipops, and you can see all the other kids are getting very excited. You can see this adult is excited, handing out these lollipops to these kids, and you don't know what a lollipop is, but you are seeing that everybody's getting something that's making them happy, and so you're expecting that you're going to get the same thing. There's that expectation, and then everybody gets one, and you don't get one. You're simply overlooked, and obviously the adult didn't mean it in a bad way. The other toddlers didn't mean it in a bad way, but from something that simple, you can start the energy pattern that says to you that wonderful things are happening, comes to other people easily and effortlessly, and I'm overlooked. I am not seen. I am left out. And so there you can see how the perception of that 4-month-old baby and the actual action or perception of the adult and the other toddlers, it's not in complete flow with each other, really, but it's true for your mind. And whatever your mind accepts as a truth for itself, that pattern will be built on. So, other things may happen, and then whatever your foundational pattern and belief is about yourself in your subconscious mind, that is what's going to become your conscious experience of life, because through our senses, we perceive so much. But our subconscious mind is going to decide, okay, does this support your foundational beliefs about your life or not? And if it supports it, you're going to become aware of it. If it doesn't support it, it can be right in front of you and you won't be aware of it, It's like, that generally speaking, men and women have different ways of communicating, all right? And it's so incredible for me, especially when I studied NLP, which is if you want to call it like that, life coaching. But it's really about understanding the mind, communication, how you can say one thing and mean one thing, and somebody else hears entirely something different, because you hear and see and understand from your perception, understanding, and from your pattern inside your mind. And that is how so many times in the world people are misunderstanding each other. That you're like, I really didn't mean that. I'm so sorry. This was never my intention. Or sometimes it can be a bit more, attacky like that than that. So NLP is this incredible thing that helps you to basically communicate better, and to not just take what comes towards you, but to understand what is the action behind this. And with hypnosis, that is really it. So it doesn't really matter whether it's something like, as we said, relationships, career, confidence, smoking, body issues, addictions. It doesn't really matter what it is. So what we do in spiritual regression hypnosis is to go to the subconscious mind to say, okay, what is it that is causing you to have this experience of life, and what do we need to change about that? And sometimes people think because you do all this incredible work that after a session you're very tired and you feel kind of exhausted. But in fact the opposite is true, because you're really cleaning out, and because you're cleaning out, there's space for such new wonderful things to come. You are excited. When you are done with your session, you are excited. And I am excited because I have to go into trance with you, because I understand that we are all one, that I am you and you are me. So I go into trance with you, and after a session, I'm telling you, I am glowing. I'm glowing. I'm like somebody who just freshly fell in love. It is amazing. It's such a beautiful experience. And even apart from all of the work that you're doing, and peacefully releasing and letting go and forgiving and understanding, those type of things that were holding you back, just the idea that you are able to go into this beautiful session of trance and of relaxation and of calm in a world that can be a little bit crazy, that in itself is a fantastic bonus, because that is like a straight out incredible weekend right there, And I mean, it's amazing. You can have an online session, you can have an in-person session. The result is really, it's very much the same. It's absolutely incredible. And so sometimes people are obviously nervous, if they're not going to do like this weird stuff like getting the movies, like, I must go, I must do. But as I said before, that you're not really asleep, and you know those times when you just sort of like take a drive and poof, you're just there, you don't even know how you got there, or you just make yourself like a cup of coffee or tea or sandwich or whatever it is, or run a bath, or those type of normal things that you do in your everyday life. You don't even think about it, you just sort of do it subconsciously, how your mind sort of taps out a little bit. That is exactly what happens in hypnosis. Some people are very gone like a light, and some people are still very present, and most people are somewhere in between, and all of those are really fine. Okay. And a concern that some people have is, so what happens if I, for example, need to go to the bathroom? Well, you actually able to, obviously discuss this more in your pre-consultation, but long story short, you can get up, you can go to the bathroom, you can wash your hands, you can come back down, lay on the bed, sit on the chair, be on the couch, whatever you have in your session on, your eyes will be open, and even if there's somebody along the way that is not familiar with, with trance, they won't know that you're in trance. You will act normal. Obviously, if you maybe somebody else can say, for example, me who's trained in hypnosis, if I look at you, I'll be like, that person's in a very deep trance, so it's actually quite amazing. And what happens is that your senses actually become heightened. They become super heightened. Even if you're not a very sort of spiritual person, it's almost like you become psychic, because you're not sort of paying attention to all the things that we sometimes pay attention to in our life. Your sense of smell improves, your hearing, your everything really, And so sometimes people are obviously concerned, especially if it's an online session. Say I live in an apartment block, and say I live in the first floor, and what if there's a gas leak or whatever on like the seventh floor? In fact, you will be able to detect it, where in your wakeful state you wouldn't be able to detect it. So nobody can really keep you in trance. If in fact, if for any reason you need to wake up, you will become fully conscious without me needing to say anything, because your mind will say it's time for you to be awake, and poof, you'll be wide awake, no matter how deep a trance you go into. Yeah, so I think that answers most of the questions that a lot of you have. And if you are interested, then check out my profile down below. You're more than welcome to contact me. My contact details are down below. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. And I wish you all the best. Namaste.